Well then, hello everybody. Welcome back to another stream, another RGR race here. I think this is round four. I've rushed myself to try and get this. Yes, it is round four here today in Austria. You can take a look at the standings in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. That shows George Pudding leading the championship ahead of Side Effects 99. And hopefully we're going to see ourselves a lovely little race here tonight. I do think that chat box is a bit too heavy. This is my first time streaming with Streamlabs on whatnot. I'm just going to make sure that some stuff is absolutely calm. And we don't have any issues today. Hopefully this is going to be a swell race. A normal race. And we're going to have a nice, lovely, jubbly time. As Jen Super goes into the pit lane, he currently leads the qualifying session. A 4.4 is what he has done. Lovely, jubbly for him. As we take a look further down the grid, you can see some drivers beginning to space out a bit. RBXJB has started a lap, and Hazuxi has just finished a lap, a 4.9. Very interesting to see. Zigzag with a 4.8. That's a pretty good lap time there for Zigzag. Especially considering he's actually back of the grid in Tier 8 SDB. But yeah, interesting race today. 18 people we are racing with. Very nice. But yeah, sorry if I seem a bit like a stool, if I'm like stooling and whatnot. Hello here for Ziggy Win. Thank you very much. I can't see your name actually because I think my Twitch is a bit broken. Vassa, thank you very much, Vassa, for the kind words for Ziggy. I'd be very happy for that. And of course, if you are new to the stream and new to RGR, then you can take a look at the top right of your screen. Discord username silent underscore pistol underscore 43552. That is my username, of course. You can add me on there, and then we can get you straight into the RGR Racing League. So hopefully you do join, and we have a lovely, jubbly little time with you racing here. George Pudding, very interestingly, the man who leads the championship, which you can take a look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. George Pudding, currently, with the 1-4, that is, wow! That was way too close for comfort, and he's got a 5-second grip, a 5-place grip penalty for a collision with Side Effects 99. Well, Side's gonna definitely be having a word after this race. You've got to see the drivers coming. And unfortunately, George Pudding has been penalised for something that definitely was not his fault. Side was in the way indefinitely. Not great to see, but it's something that we have seen, and hopefully we won't see it again in this qualifying session. But yeah, apologies if I'm not really in the rhythm of commentating today. It is a kind of a nervous day for me. Your first time having Streamlabs up and actually having a nice little like graphics on screen and whatnot. Thank you to the 9 people who are currently with us right now. Those 9 people, by the way, you can take a look on your screen. Actually, right next to the track map, you can take a look at those 9 people right now in that little box watching this stream. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support here at RGR. Side Effects 99, I believe, is starting a lap. No, he's ended one. He's got a 4.586. It's good. Not as good as Charlie, though. We haven't seen this pace from Charlie so far this season. And both the Kicksalvers are a Charlie pair. Charlie 43903 has just come through with a 4.3. Very nice lap time from the Sauber. And he claims pole position. Mohamed Akun also here as well. Gonna get ready to rumble here in RGR. Thank you all for joining us here. Hopefully, we get a very lovely little jubbly race going on here tonight. And hopefully there's no massive collisions like we had, unfortunately, in our last race out in Bahrain. As Mohamed Akun, the Haas car is up into P1, a 4.275. And Haas claims the top spot of the qualifying session. Very nicely done from him. Charlie going to be entering the pit lane. I assume for some good reason. I'm not too sure why. Jackinator also entering the pit lane as well. Venom up into P7. That's a debut for him. He's doing very well. Espanol Confirm replying, what about me? Trying to get some support of his own. Speaking of him, he's down into P11. Doing a decent job, I reckon. Not doing too bad. And, yeah, we'll see how that progresses later on in the qualifying session. See if he can stay in that P11 spot, or if he can improve that and go up into the top 10. If so, that'll be very, very good for Esteban Ocon. I haven't really seen Esteban Ocon enter the top 5 in some races. If he can enter the top 5, that'd be absolutely fantastic for him. I'm on wheel, that's why I'm bad at the moment. Fair enough, I'll be Chibi. Very nicely said. Well, it's a Haas 1 and 2, folks. Mohamed Akun and never mind, George Pudding's on pole. He's just stole it. And the man leading the standings is now leading this qualifying session, but by only 2 milliseconds. Looks to be a very, very close quali with that top spot here at RGR. Ten people joining us. Thank you very much, everybody. But yeah, can somebody tell me in the chat if they can see the standings quite well? If you can't see it quite well, I mean, I made sure it's small enough to where you can see everything else, but you can also see it. If you can't see it, let me know, because if so, it's kind of pointless. But hopefully, you can see it well, and it's absolutely lovely jubbly, and it's fine. And we're chill. And we're ready to go. I can see it. Can you see it? Can you, like, read it, though? Can you read it fine? Like, that's George Pudding, Solvix 99, Blocky, D's Nuts, and Hazuxi. I don't think you can read it that well, but yeah, you can. Okay, fair enough. 4 minutes left in the qualifying session with these lovely 18 drivers. I don't think there's any Red Bull cars here. No, Hazuxi's in Red Bull. Well, an interesting qualifying session to say the least. There is a bit of trouble with rain at the end of this race, actually. Well, they're supposed to be. So hopefully, we're going to get some entertaining stuff with that one. Actually, let me do something real quick. You'll be able to see me actually edit this, which is actually kind of cool, I guess. This kind of needs to be black, because otherwise you can't really see it that well. No, don't pick screen color, bloody hell. Black. Done. There we go. Just making sure everything's calm there. So you should be able to see that much more clearly now. Yeah, nice. Okay. Baby, what you wishing for? Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. Well, Can Venom do something good? Coming around that last turn, going to start off a lap. He is. He is. He is. And we'll see what the Aston Martin can produce as he goes into that first turn. Behind him, there's a a Kick Sauber just coming out as well. Well, what can Venom produce? Can he go near pole position here in this qualifying session? He's on full traction. Very, very nice to see people competing with full traction. Another one of those drivers is also SideFX99. That's nice to see. We are literally in the business end of this qualifying session, folks, and it is George Pudding versus Mohammed Akan versus Joe the Super for the top spot here in Austria. Can one of them enter in the threes and steal pole position? We will have to see. I tell her, baby, what you wishing for? Well, Mohammed Akan is starting off a lap here. This could very well be the lap to try and get himself pole position here in Austria. Tensions are high, the nerves are kicking in. It is now or absolutely never for Mohammed Akan. He's got 70 milliseconds up on his lap time. Right now, that would be good enough for pole position. But of course, George Pudding's also on a lap himself. And currently, I've just remembered, George Pudding's got a 5-place grid penalty. And as I say that, Charlie's put in a 4.206. He smashed the 273 out of the park. And George Pudding currently would start P7 because he's going to drop back 5 place grid penalties because of the collision with SideFX99. Mohammed Akan now 2/10 up on his lap. This is it for Mohammed. Can he get himself his first pole position of this season? Into the right hander he's gonna go. He's gone wide. He's invalidated with only the penultimate turn left. I cannot believe it. He's unfortunately gonna just finish on that 4.275. He will not improve. SideFX99 improving by 45 milliseconds currently. And Joe the Super up by almost 4/10. This is surely it. The Haas across the line. He's got pole. 3.985. Fantastic stuff as Joe the Super takes pole position in Austria on his last and final lap. Fantastic. Hazuki has an issue when he's doing any lap. It's almost as if he is driving behind the safety car. Oh, okay. If he needs to leave and rejoin the session, then tell him feel free to. But you know, it might not be looking good, bruv, for him if he has to rejoin, because when you start the race, it's very difficult to get back into your car. But thank you very much for saying that. But with that being said, Joe the Super, 22, 3.985. He has qualified first in RGR. Fantastic stuff from him. Really, really well done from him. He takes pole here. And yes, George Pudding, 5-place grid penalty for that collision with side. He's going to drop down all the way to P7 off this start. He's going to be right behind. No. Not behind. Well, yeah, he's going to be like right behind SideFX99. Off the start as well. Is there going to be any high tensions, high nerves between the both of them? Ziggy broke his wing in the pits. Fair enough. But yes, Joe the Super lining up on pole. And he's got his teammate... Sorry, no, not his teammate. He's got Charlie. Charlie behind him. Barley Chainbridge. You know, in the Discord. They also had a very, very, very nice battle Stole P9 last lap. Very well done to you, Trout, mate. Very well done to you. But yes, there could be some... no formation lap, by the way, lads. If you didn't know, there's no formation lap in this race. So just make sure that when you're ready up, you are fully ready. And, you know, you're like right there ready to race. And, well, here we go then. No, not mandatory. I will always ping in announcements mandatory 2-stop before a race happens. I didn't do that. There's no 2-stop here tonight. Mandatory one that is. It might be a 2-stop just because of tyre wear, because I think everybody should be doing a 2-stop here. It's really bad for tyre wear. Here we go then. We are here, ready to watch, to witness, and to embrace RGR, and it is green light, go, go, go. We go racing here in Austria, down towards that first turn. Jenna Super getting off very nicely indeed, and so does his teammate Mohammed Akan, straight up into P2. And just look at that behind the Aston Martins going side by side. That's Venom and Zigzag. George the Pudding right behind these two, watching them scruff it out. Now he wants to get involved. Look at Mohammed Akan though, right behind Charlie. They're fucking each other. What in the fuck is going on there? A bit of a wobble there from the Alpine of Jackinator. 3 wide on the exit here between 3 cars, of course. Soul Lock, Jazzy, and I believe Azuxi all going for it right off the start here. Fantastic stuff here in Austria. Down into the right-hander, down the inside. I think it's a very cab. What's he doing? Soul Lock absolutely sending it. Collision with the Alpine. Very lucky that he is not round right off that right-hander. Fantastic stuff here. As Cyclox 99 down the inside, and Charlie goes very wide. Very fucking wide. He spun round. I can't believe it. The kick Sauber has dropped all the way down to last place. After previously being P3, that's got to sting for him. George Pudding, side by side with Venom into this right-hander. He absolutely steamrolls it down the inside. Nothing Aston Martin can do, and he just watches on as he is now ahead of him. The championship leader looking to reclaim his positions back after getting that unfair 5th-place grid penalty. Nice start here in RGR. I've had a very, very nice start as George Pudding. Here we go, side by side here between Jackinator and Venom, and also with George Pudding. He's round the outside here of the Aston Martin as Zigzag. Zigzag still having the inside line. Nothing particularly fantastic happening for him as he gets overtaken. Jackinator overtaking the Aston Martin of Zigzag very easily. Really, Zigzag not going to go for it down the inside here, nor does really any other driver, maybe except for Chazzy though, as there's a mistake by Soul Lock ahead of him, and now he could look to capitalise. He can't go going into the left-hander. It's very difficult to overtake over there. But the two Hasses are 1-2 for the Haas car. Very, very well done to these two drivers. They've had a fantastic time on the circuit. We'll see if that momentum of doing well can keep up. It's not very good momentum here for Soul Lock as he's side by side with the Williams, and the Williams is round. The Williams is round. It's a very, very difficult place to overtake that right-hander, and unfortunately for him, he is round. Chazzy overtaking Infinite Trout, and Infinite Trout not doing much about it, and he can't really do much about it, just has to let him go. Goodbye. Cyphex 99. He's in it to win it, and actually down the inside of Mohammed Akan. Joe Super maybe going a bit too slow for Mohammed's liking, and now it's side by side between Side and the Haas. Side backing away though. The Haas had a very, very, very nice exit of that turn, and he stays in P2, and Side stays in P3. Pirello overtaking Granite, not Granite. Zigzag's had a moment. I think Zigzag's off the circuit somewhere. Yes, he is. Into that right-hander he was. Yeah, not very good for him. He will not be too happy about that one. There we go then. Oh, Mohammed, very, very well for Mohammed is into the right-hander. We're going to go with Side. Jackinator has got a 3-second turn penalty for multiple warnings. ERS being used by Side. 24%, not very good for him. He's gone very wide into that first turn though. Can George Pudding kind of sneak up behind him and maybe look for a move here as Pirello and Soul Lock side by side down the main straight, and Pirello does overtake Granite, not Granite, trying to go for the overtake as well, but he cannot. You've got the Williams behind here, who just previously had a little bit of a spin, and Azuxi and Venom going to go at it here, side by side, going down the straight. The Aston Martin of Venom has to wave goodbye to the Red Bull. done very nicely indeed there. Hazuxi up into 6th place. And side by side there between Chazzy and Infinite Trout. Infinite Trout is out on the left-hand side. Malm has retired from the session. Malm has left the session. Side by side still with the Williams and the Sauber. Down the inside goes the Williams. Still side by side. Fantastic stuff from the two of them. And Infinite Trout could look to get a very nice and sexy move. And he has. Very well done to the Williams. He's up into P8. That was a really nice move. Really, really well done from him. As the other Williams also looking for the move, and that's not well done for Infinite Trout. He does get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Well, you imagine everybody's going to go for a 2-stop here. The tyre wear is extremely bad. Should be an easy 2-stop strategy for these lot. So, in the bottom left of your screen, you can take a look. There is, of course... Is there a change I get unbanned? Traps. Chazzy's retired, and Chazzy has scored a safety car. Interesting, and very interesting indeed. I can't believe he's been... Where's he retired? I can't see. That's unfortunate. Traps. I don't know, mate. You straight line somebody in like our first race of the season. I can't condone that, pal. Perez got a 10 second. Not too sure why that is. You know, it's just not good enough, mate. Look, if I'm feeling generous, very generous, I might let you win next season, but that's next season. That's ages away. You know, I just can't allow somebody to do that in the league. You know, it's not good enough. Mohammed pitting, Joe pitting, side, staying out. I think this is a big mistake from side. I think this is a huge mistake from Sidevic 99. His tyres must be on near 30. He's going to do like another 5 laps, then hards. I mean, this is poor. Poor for side. I think people on the people on the hards, you know, that's fair enough. I think staying out is... What the fuck just happened there? I just heard a noise. I ain't got Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you, about all this. Chelsea retiring's not good, though. I think he retired right here. I don't know what's going on with Pirillo. Pirillo's... He's having a bit of a weird one under the safety car. Not really knowing the rules, right? I don't know. I mean, his 10 sec might get removed. But he has to pit, obviously. If you get a 10-second time penalty, but you don't serve it into the pit lane, you can get it removed. So that involves speeding into the pit lane as well. So if you speed into the pit lane and you don't serve that 10 sec for the rest of the race, I will take it away from you, because you know, I just don't think so. Chazzy, you misjudged and overtaken, hit my rear and lost control. Okay. Well, we'll see. I think he'll almost certainly report that incident. Of course, getting taken out, not a good look, not a good thing to have. Yeah, I agree with Fazza. I think Side has fucked this royally fucked this. I mean, what do you do from the situation? Your mediums are gonna die out right on the restart. You got people on fresh hards coming at you, coming fast. Actually, no, he hasn't. The only person who does is Joe the Super, and he has to overtake 2 cars ahead of him before he can even reach him. Maybe, just maybe, you know, he might be fine. I'm not too sure though, but we'll have to see. Well, 7 laps in of 36. It's getting spicy. We've pretty much got 5 times more of this for the rest of the race. That's it. That's the race. That's it. Done and dusted. But yeah, I think safety car might be in this lap. I think RBXJB is going to be able to catch up with the rest of the pack before it goes in. Charlie Gibbs. Charlie, what happened, mate? What happened? What happened, pal? It's very unfortunate. I don't want to see you retire like that. I didn't see it, so I'm just asking genuinely. I mean, Side fucked it Depends when rain comes. True. Maybe the rain comes. Maybe it saves him a little bit. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, he's boxed now. I think he's realised his big mistake. He's gone into the box now. It's going to put him right at the back of the grid. Honestly, at that point, I just firm it. I just say, I've made the mistake, and we'll see what I can do to recover from it. But no, he has ditched that thought and got into the pits either way. My opinion, I think that's a mistake. I think it's a big mistake. I don't think you can do that. After one had run on Trout and he lagged into me. Oh, okay. Okay, and I went flying. Okay, I see. I see, Charlie. So it's lag, right? No, like nobody like took you out, because if it is lag, then it'll be ruled NFA. But I would obviously. What's going on here as well? Safety cars in the slap. What is going on here between Pirlo and the safety car and the Williams ahead? What's going on? It's just a bit mental. Just my internet. Okay, thanks for admitting that, Charlie. I really appreciate it. If you want to report it either way, then you can. I will take a look at it after this race. I'm very, very, very sorry for you. I don't really want to see anybody, DNFing so very early on in an RGR race. Not something you want to see. Well, here we go then. Hazuki leads the way with his hards. Let's see what happens. I win next week, it's fine. That's the spirit. That is the spirit. Here we go. Where's Hazuki going to go? He's going to go now, and Infinite Trout. Not following very well. Joe the Super here pretty much would be your net race leader at this point. As into the first time we're going to go. Side by side between Charlie and Granite, not Granite. And here we go. The Alpine through goes Jackanator. Can he get a 2-for-1 like a Tesco fucking meal deal? Unbelievable there, as Joe the Super is looking for his overtake, and Jackanator is looking for his 2-for-1. Has he got it? Oh, he's got a bit deep there, but he has got the manoeuvre. That is fantastic stuff there from the Alpine, as George Pudding and Pirlo going to go side by side. Maybe is there contact? No, George Pudding, the championship leader, setting it down the inside into the right-hander, and he's got the position. Very nicely done there from the Ferrari, as Joe the Super there, getting the overtake on Infinite Trout. He's up into P2 very early on. Side, half a lap on mediums. He's already up into P11, doing very well to try and recover off his poor start. There's a mistake in the background. I think that is Infinite Trout. Very poor stuff for him, as Jackanator overtaking Pirlo now, and something's happened with Pirlo. He's gone onto the gravel. Not having a nice time in this race, Pirlo. Unfortunate to see. Still, though, very good stuff here. And here's George Pudding right onto the back of Infinite Trout. And now DRS is enabled. Here comes the Ferrari. Down the inside is going to go into the right-hander, sorry. He's got the position. Very nicely done. Far Mr. Mellon not having a good time with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Here comes Jackanator into this right-hander. He's on a spree. He's on a mental spree, and he's absolutely dive-bombed it, and he's got it. Well done to Jackanator. Fantastic restart for him. Sides up at the P9, having a very, very nice start. Very, very good stuff from side. We'll see what happens in a minute, as Hazuki and Joe the Super side by side for the lead, and no longer side by side, because Joe the Super is ahead, and he currently leads the Austria GP, doing very nicely up in that top spot. But George Pudding will be behind, will be waiting his turn. A side by side between Charlie and F1 Venom. Charlie around the outside. I think he's got the manoeuvre. Very nicely done. Aside, down the inside he goes. Aside again, having a fantastic exit off that right-hander. And Venom's gone very wide. Very, very, very wide! Oh my fucking god, what's happening in the background? Charlie funked it into side. Side caused the pile up. Mental scenes as Venom quickly recovered his positions. I think somebody was looking to go into the pit lane. I'm not sure. That will be a disqualified from the session. Instantly, who's got disqualified? Is that Charlie? Charlie's been disqualified. What is going on here in RGR? Very, very weird moment there. We will obviously see after the race what happened. Venom letting Side through. I think that's out of respect to what happened. And Side with a little wiggle saying, "Thank you very much, Venom. I appreciate it, sir." Mohammed is also having a nice time here. Spun round into that second turn. Previously, one of the contenders here to try and win this race. He's now out of it. But now the two contenders are George Pudding and Joe the Super. We will see what happens between the pair of them. Who overcomes who overtakes who wins this grueling race so far. Entertaining to say the least. Side not having a nice time off the restart now. And here comes George Pudding. Could he go for it now? No, he's going to be smart. He's going to look to go for it down this next straight here. The Ferrari now going to use the DRS and the ERS. This should be an easy and simple move. As Joe the Super moves to the inside. And around the outside goes the Ferrari. Up into P1 he goes. Hazuxi's doing very well to keep up to the back of these drivers. You'd think with 5 laps percent more, these two would absolutely just doss away in 2-3 laps. No, he's actually kept within them for 4 laps now. I think this might be the lap where he goes, though. Yeah, he's out of 1 second now, but nevertheless, very much fighting to try and keep that 1 second gap. And, you know, he did well at it as well. Hopefully Mohammed can recover his drive. Did not have a nice time off that restart, spinning around on that second turn. Not something you'll have to see. I've no idea how Charlie got disqualified. I think it was for causing a blockage in the pit lane. And that's just bullshit. I don't know. Is this pistol on comms? Yes, it is. It's a silent pistol on comms. Rocker. Nice to see you, mate. I don't know who you are. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll be completely honest. Maybe a bit brutally honest, but hopefully, you've heard me before and you like the comms instead of getting annoyed at it, which some people will would argue. But yeah. Down the straight, here goes Joe the Super, side by side for the lead, here in Austria, down the inside he goes on George Pudding, and George Pudding looking for the switchback, will he get it? He's got the inside line going into the right-hander, now we'll look to go side by side into this left-hander, will he go for the switchback again? No, and Joe the Super defends the inside line, it's an grueling and beautiful battle for P1, which still sees the Haas of Joe the Super still commanding this race. Something happened there in the background. I'm not too sure what happened. Granite getting overtaken by Infinite Trout. It returns after, I think, a two race break. I don't know what's happening with RBXJB. Charlie left the session. Yeah, I feel bad for Charlie. I don't know what happened. I think it was for causing a blockage in the pit lane, which was just happened chance. That is never his fault. Yeah, I just hope he returns next week fighting better. To be fair, fighting better is the wrong way of saying it, because he did fight well in this race, but he got unlucky, he got screwed over. Just hope he can fight without getting screwed over. George Pudding here, into the right-hander, will he send it? No. Joe the Super, still keeping his lead in this race, and George Pudding looks to be, potentially, our Season 2 champion. I can't lie, Venom is doing fairly well for someone who just got the game a week ago. Yeah, very well done for Venom. A week ago getting the game. Doing very nicely in P7 he is. He's got all the assists on, I'm pretty sure. The far Mr. Melon in P6 as well. Infinite Trout overtaking Zigzag, going into this left-hander. Hazuxi is into the pits after 13 laps more on these hards. Now side. What will side do? As Christian left the league, we had a little argument over the Australia race. I gave George Pudding the win after removing his time penalties, as he didn't gain or lose. As he didn't gain a sufficient amount of time or lose a lot of time. And Christian hasn't raced since. That's round 1, really. If he doesn't race again next week, I will remove him from the league and get somebody else in at just his pace. Just hoping he turns up. Just hoping he turns up. It's not a good look. Pistol Among Us when? Don't know, mate. I'll do it on stream, mate. Yeah, we'll see. Baby, what are you wishing for? Well, It looks to be the only battles between George Pudding and Mohammed Agan, and it's the only battle that we need to see, because it's the battle for the win, it's the battle for the victory, it's the battle for 25 points, as side by side goes George Pudding and Joe the Super. Ahead goes the Ferrari going into this right-hander, but now, Joe the Super has got the DRS, he's got 100% battery, gonna use it down the straight. Using the DRS, going into this right-hander. Will he send it down the inside on the Ferrari? No. Going to be clever, simple, very nicely done. Side-by-side between Azuxi and Infinite Trout, very nicely done. And looks like the other Williams also getting the overtake and having a battle himself. And oh wow, down the inside, absolutely steaming it there, goes Zigzag. But, of course, the Williams easily able to switch back in and claim the position back. Right-hander here for Joe the Super. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, we do have a YouTube. If you did not know that we do have a YouTube. RGRLeague, the exact same as, the name of the actual league. And Joe the Super getting an easy overtake back again. George Pudding staying behind. Zuxi overtaking F1 Venom because he's entering the pit lane. This is going to be interesting. I'm very interested and intrigued in seeing what Zuxi can produce for the rest of this race. Maybe getting a huge undercut on these drivers ahead. And could he lead in a couple of laps' time? We'll have to see. I mean, I think around lap 20, people 2022. People were gonna box for hards for the rest of the race. It needs to rain. There is rain in this race. I do recall there being rain in this race. It'll be right at the end though, so I don't know if it's worth the risk on going on to intermediates or not. We'll have to see. But here we are then, down the straight with George Pudding, down into the right-hander here, going a little bit wide, and he's not going to get a good exit. And that is going to enable Joe the Super to just get away for this straight. Someone in the back will defo try it. I mean, they should, really, if they want a chance back at this race. Infinite Trout with the threes again. George Pudding with a bit of a wide turn in there. Is he having some real issue with these hard-set compound tyres? Does he feel like he needs to box again very, very soon? I mean, it's not looking good for the Ferrari, for the race leader. It's not looking good for him. Sorry, not race leader, the championship leader. As you can take a look at the bottom left of your screen, he's leading the championship in that Ferrari with Side Effects 99 behind him by 20 odd points, I think. We're down the straight again, and Joe the Super still leading this race ahead of George Pudding. They're the only two drivers within 1 second of each other. Here comes George Pudding. Here comes George Pudding. Into the right-hander he's going to go. Now, I'm going to get DRS and ERS on the straight. That's the amount of people that are watching the stream. Which is very nice. 15 people is very lovely. Someone's DNF'd into that last turn. Is this going to cause a safety car? I didn't think it is. Which is very surprising. That's cool. Yeah, it is. It is quite cool. It is quite cool. Here we go. Down the straight again. These two going at it. Joe the Super and George Pudding. It's going to be very interesting to see where Side is going to come out in this race. Is he going to box now? I think he's boxing now. Yes, he's done with these hards. Oh, no, he's just got a puncture. Right then and fucking then. He's got a puncture. And he's gone off the circuit. Able to get in the pit like that. That is going to be very frustrating for Side. And he's got a 10-second time penalty as well. But luckily for him, if he does not serve it again in this race, he will get that removed if he reports it. So there you go. Side, don't count yourself out. Yet, mate. You'll be fine. Baby, what you wishing for? Jackanator's up into P5. Nice move there, Jackanator. Well, this is it for the rest of the race now. I think, really, it's when do one of these two pit? And I think they will both pit this lap. That's my prediction. I think both of them going to pit this lap. I think it'd be very difficult for Side to take these hards. Granites took these hards until lap 19. Is he taking the real fucking piss? 19 laps with those hards. That is incredible. Oh, here we go. Here comes the Haas. Not getting the overtake just yet. Will he look for it down the straight? He's got the ERS. He's got the DRS as well. Here we go. George Pudding versus Joe the Super. Is going to be any chance of an overtake? No. Side at the back of Granite, not Granite. He's got the move. Very nicely done. Granite puncture in the moment. Well, we'll have a look. Well, of course we'll have a look. So far, so good for Granite. Very interesting. I don't get how he's took these odds this long. Very, very impressive. Mohammed Khan, I feel bad for Mohammed. I mean, he's a great driver. Really good driver, but just not able to find the pace necessary in this race to get back up there. Oh, here we go. I think that's a bit of a mistake there from George Pudding. Down the straight, we're going to go here with Joe the Super. He's going to side-by-side here with the Ferrari. He's took the lead! 22 laps in, and this battle still commencing. And up into P1 goes the Haas. Well, this is getting interesting. And these two are going to box soon. Hazuxi's going to take the lead here in Austria very, very soon, because these two cars just ahead of them are going to go into the pits very, very soon. It might even be this lap. These two go into the pits. If so, we'll have to see. I mean, it's looking good, though. And Son of X99 overtaking his teammate, Mr. Melon. Is it this lap? Is it this lap? No, it's not. They still continue on. Joe the Super, the 3-second time penalty. He lost time. He lost time. That's going to get removed if he reports it. That's definitely going to get removed if he reports it. Lost time there. And wow. That was a poor exit from George Pudding. And Joe the Super's going to come through for P1 again. Up into first place. And Jackanator overtaking Hazuxi. Could this be a Jackanator v Hazuxi P1 battle? Because very soon these two are going to have to pit. I don't think Jackanator needs to pit. I think Jackanator could win this race. Hazuxi. This is looking feisty. This is looking really feisty. Another question is, can Sode also get onto the back of these two? I mean, it's 13 seconds. I don't think he could, but you know, we'll have to see. I think this lap these two box. I think they should this lap. If they continue more on these hards, I'll be very, very impressed and surprised. They will continue on. Are they going for a one-stop? That's very poor exit there for Joe the Super. Overtake left for George Pudding. There you go. 18 laps these hards have gone. Very impressive. Is this it now? Hazuxi getting overtaken. Maybe there's not going to be a battle between, of course, those two, the McLaren and the and the Aston Martin here. Mr. Melon versus the Aston Martin as we go into the right-hander, and the McLaren has overtaken the Aston. Very nicely done there for Mr. Melon. For Mr. Melon, hey, Mr. on the radio. Is it a rule that P1 and P2 have to stay above a certain amount of ERS? No. There's no rule about that. I think these two are just incredibly good at keeping their ERS management. There's no rule about that. I didn't see. Thank you, Rocky260, for following us. Did it come up with the actual message saying thank you for following us? I don't think it did. Anyways, is there game audio here? Can you hear the game? I don't think you'll be able to hear the game. If you can't hear the game, I'll try and sort that out for next week. Of course, if you're new to watching us, you can take a look at the top right, very, very top right of your screen with the black text that unfortunately does kind of fade into the background. But actually, do you know what? Into the pits goes Joe the Super. Interesting, and George Pudding stays out. Wait, let's just have a look at this, because side overtaking. Farm Mr. Melon needs to have a nice little battle between the two of them. Let's take a look at this. Zuxi, he's got to be going ahead of Joe the Super by quite a little bit here. You'd imagine. You'd imagine. He's boxing. Well, interesting. But out comes Jackanator. Is this a chance for Side to potentially actually, overtake Zuxi? I think it will be. Yeah, he's up into P4 now. Side of X99. Right, let me just do something real quick. You'll be able to see me do this, but either way, I just want to make sure this is really working well. Let's change to the RGR Red. Why not? There you go. Desktop audio. You'll be able to hear that now, right? The actual game, right? And you know what? What we actually do is we will bang event sound. So there you go. If somebody actually follows me, I can hear it. Well, at least I think I'll hear it. Don't matter. I don't know. There we go then. Oh, Mr. Men having a really poor time in that right-hander. Christ alive, that was a bit iffy. Way too loud, that game. That game audio is way too loud. Thank the Lord I have sorted that out. That was way too loud. Well, side effects 99 coming back again. There was a bit of a pop sound. Has he got a puncture? No. Farm Mr. Men around the outside. Maybe. This is a really grueling battle between the two McLarens. George Pudding has boxed. Is he on to 5-lap mediums? Yes, he is. Interesting. Very interesting. Well then. Jackanator leads. And, oh, I made another mistake. Not something I love to see. Don't like that. These two silent Mr. Men are having a bloody battle, having a bloody go at each other here. ERS being used by Farm Mr. Melon again on side. They're going to side by side into this right hand here. Round the outside. No way Farm Mr. Melon gets him here. That would be unbelievable. No, he doesn't. On the exit, go side. That would have been an unbelievable overtake. George Pudding has fucked it. I think he has, you know. I don't. Oh, it's rain! It's raining! It's pouring! The old man is fucking snoring! And we have got a very, very interesting race from now on. Who's gonna box first for the intermediates? I think Side has to box very, very soon. I reckon if he wants to have a chance at this lead here, as side by side goes Joe the Super and Jackinator, it's spicy! Oh my god, it's spicy. I reckon if I'm Side Effects 99, I'm boxing this lap for intermediates. I need to try and get up to the drivers ahead of me, and I don't want to be battling my teammate for far longer, as far Mr. Melon has been pushed off track. You could argue there by Side. Was that a bit unfair? We'll have to see. It's not for inters yet, but I think next lap it will be. I think like in the middle of that next lap, Side will be able to kick in really good pace and be quicker than these guys ahead of him, which he desperately, desperately, desperately needs. Joe Super, does he bite the bullet? No. But Jackinator has not. He has not. I thought he did there for a second. George Pudding doesn't. Does Side. Does Side. Does Side say, do you know what? I'm rating it. He is. He is. He is boxing. I'm not talking about Boxing Day. Well, he's got to really hope. Oh no, but he boxes again, so he has to service 10 sec. I can't remove that 10 sec then. Unfortunately, Side. Oh wow. Mr. Melon has been absolutely fucked. He's been absolutely fucked. I'm raging if I'm Mr. Melon. I'm fuming. I can't remove the time penalty for Side now. But Zuxi's come out. He's on the intermediates. Oh, I don't know, you know. I think mid this lap, you might see the intermediates go quicker. We're going to take a look at the gap between Azuxi and Infinite Trout. If Infinite Trout is quicker with 7 laps, you know, tyres, then I think we know our answer to which is quicker. Wow, that's gone down rapidly. It's gone down very quickly. Very quickly. I think this was the perfect call for Azuxi. Hazuxi could win this race right on this call, folks. I think it's perfect. You can see the dots on the track. This was a perfect peach of a call by Hazuxi. And I think if Hazuxi's quick enough... I don't think he's quick enough. No, he can't be quick enough for that, surely. Surely. No, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but no, he's not. Joe the Super stayed out, though. Joe the Super did stay out of this race. That is a huge mistake. Hazuxi's going to take P4. That should be it for his race. Yeah, Joe the Super has fucked it. He has fucked this. He's not going to be quick enough. Is it a Jackinator win? Is it a Jackinator win? Will Jackinator win his first race? He's got second time penalties, but you can easily get them removed in RGR. I will always commentate, unless it's a 10 sec that I can't remove. I will always commentate on drivers like they haven't got their time penalties, because you can very easily get them removed in RGR. You would have to gain 5/10 or more for leaving the circuit and rejoining for you to not get it removed. If it's anything below that, literally anything below that, before 9-9, anything below that, you will get it removed. And there you go. And there you go. Jackinator is ahead of Joe the Super. This is the battle. Everybody in the chat watching, 10 people in the chat, you have to act like this race right here, right now, is between this battle. You cannot act like these time penalties exist. You've got to pretend they're not there, because they are very easily removable in RGR. Very easily removable. So this could get very, very spicy. very quick. I will also remind both drivers that they can get removed after the race, very easily. Well, oh, well, oh, well, oh, well. This is something. RBXJB, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh my, oh my, oh my, no. Big mistake there from the V-Guard, but this is it, folks. We've got 3 laps left of this race. Down the inside? What's going on here? Yeah, he did send it. I was confused there for a second. I was like, what could he have possibly done for him to go as slow as this? He did send it down the inside. Couldn't do well, though, as Joe the Super has got a 3-second time penalty again. So, even if these time penalties were to exist, this is a very much, a battle that is, on for it here. But who defeats who? If we reverse the grid, Ziggy is P2. So it's a good thought. It's a good thought. But only a thought. We aren't going to reverse this, obviously. Maybe that's a fun little social race we'll do. Like, we'll do just like a social race where if you finish last, you win. It's the slowest person to go around the circuit wins the race. Jackanate with another 3-second time penalty. Did he gain a lot of time? Nope. So he would get that removed instantly. I see that and I say, yeah, we can get that removed. Well then. We've got a couple of laps left here. And I think George Pudding very well knows what time penalties are like here in RGR. I assume that he will be looking at this, thinking to himself, right, I kind of need to overtake Joe the Super here because of how lenient these time penalties are. So, we'll see what he can produce. Surely, you feel he'd have to go for it. Here we go then. We're having weird races here in RGR where, like, you have the top 3 and someone's 20 seconds behind them. It's like Verstappen and Hamilton in 2021. Where, like, the rest of the grid's just fucking miles behind them and they just go at it. So, lock 3 sec. This is the final lap, folks. The battle for P2. George Pudding and Joe the Super. Like I say, for the final time in this race, I will say for the final and father fucking time, we're pretending like the penalties don't exist on this. Because, simply put, penalties easily removable in RGR. Easy. They're like practically non-existent. So, wow, that's a big moment there for George Pudding. As Joe the Super surely keeps his P2. But look, he's first! A man who was hit and was wounded after Bahrain has come back healed and come stronger and better than ever to come and win the Austrian Grand Prix. Round the last two turns goes the Jackinator. And it's the last turn here. He DNF'd in Bahrain, but he wins in Spielberg. Jackinator takes 25 points here in a wet, rainy last lap. Fantastic stuff for the Alpine. Of course, it says P3 on the track. We all know, though, easy removable to take the P1. Well done, Jackinator. Thoroughly deserved. I think the strategy was just a bit too, fucked, really. They fucked the strategy, George Pudding and Joe the Super. Zuxi over in P4. Really nice showing there for a Zuxi. Side effects. P5. Top 5 finish. I don't think he'd be too disappointed with that. I think he'd be annoyed of how he's got that P5. But I think end of the day, he'd take a 5th finish any day of the week. Infinite Trout doing well. Far, Mr. Melon. F1 Venom. Mohammed Akun. Granite, not Granite, and Zigzag. Well. That, folks, is a very interesting Austrian GP. The first race with Streamlabs, and it ran really smoothly. I'm a very happy man for today. Thank you all so much for witnessing the GP today. Yeah, honestly, I'm chuffed. I'm really chuffed with how today has gone. Similarly to how I was chuffed after the Bahrain Grand Prix until I learned what happened in the pit lane incident with Jackinator. But Jackinator came back round and he's won this race. So you can't blame it. There you go, folks. That is the standings for the Austrian GP. A great race. Great race. Contact, weird moments. But through all of it, everyone persevered on and went for the win. And it was very entertaining. So, nicely done. Kept getting warnings while having tires on white lines. Shall be seeing they can remove. Yeah, mate. Honestly, you can send all of the incidents in. I will probably remove it because I really hate time penalties in F1 racing. That being said, thank you all for watching tonight, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. I can't click anything. I swear down, I cannot click anything. I can't click anything. My mouse is. Well, I've just done all that fucking outro to look like a prick. I'm gonna have to shut down my laptop. Oh, how lovely is that? A nice little screen. Would we like to sort ourselves out, please? We would. Thank you for watching. See you later. Have a good one. Thank you, Rocky, for following, by the way.